Yo,
Gary,
what up, bro?
the fuck's going on?
Not much. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, it sounds perfect. Yeah.
Okay, dope.
This just goes up on my Patreon for 11 people, so feel free to say whatever the fuck you want.
Fucking right. So one of those 11 losers asked for this.
Yo, they're huge fans. You know them, bro. It's Nick and Mac.
Yeah. No, the thing, it's flattering, right? But then when I hear that somebody requested, I already know who it is because I know who my two fans are. I knew that was gonna happen.
I mean, now listen, I started doing this interview thing because I'm like, I gotta throw some fucking shit up on my Patreon, right? And we're all on Zoom calls every day, so I'm like, I might as well just like record a Zoom call with a buddy. So I did Sophie and Chris so far, and then because I want to talk to comedians I like, you know what I mean, like fucking comics.
Buddy, I'm gonna tell you something before because I would never say this to you on air. Are we on air? Or is this
Yeah, whatever.
Fuck,
yeah,
no,
fine, yeah.
No, like today I actually had a moment because normally, like I don't like doing things like when I'm asked to do things, but I had a moment today because it's been so fucking long, and I thought about it, and I was like, I think I'm excited to fucking talk to Drew for a minute. Like it's someone I like who I haven't fucking seen in so long, so it's actually fucking dope to be chatting with you.
Yeah, well,
Sorry.
so that's what I wanted. That was kind of where I wanted to talk about this initially, because I feel like you and I had, like, you seem like a fucking Alberta comic. Like when I met you, like you are like, you have this like small town, like more like a Saskatchewan comic vibe, bro. Like you just have this like fucking, just this like small town vibe. And I saw you at like Comedy Bar or something. I'm like, where the fuck? How have I never like heard this guy? Has got to be from Alberta or Saskatchewan. Like where the fuck? So
Yeah.
where is that? Like, how do you have that? Like, why
Well,
do you have that?
Okay, so first of all, let me start by saying when I first went out and did comedy, like in Alberta, and then also when I first met you and like Danny and stuff here, I was like, holy shit, those motherfuckers, they sound like me, like they sound like where I'm from, but like heightened even, right? And then like do you agree when you talk to someone like me or talk to someone from Alberta comes out more? Like when I talk to you and it's like me and you one-on-one, like we sound like two guys who were conceived during break at the tire factory. Like we're just fucking just animals. And we came into this game like we're so unsophisticated, but we just like are like, I think your comedy's similar to mine. Like it's just fucking, we don't make you think hard. We just make you fucking have fun, right? So I grew up, dude, like 2 hours just north of Toronto. It's not too far from here on the map, but as soon as you get past like Orangeville and go out, it turns to country really fucking fast, and it gets really hick really quick. So I've talked about it obviously in stand-up and everything, but like I grew up, like I have Mennonite neighbors and I went to school with Mennonites. Like I'm like country, and like the way I'm dressed right now, for the way I've gotten used to being dressed for COVID, is how you go to a fucking wedding where I grew up. You know what I mean? Like now, like you're just sweatpants and a hoodie. And I'll say this too, I'm rambling, but when I went to Edmonton the one time, my first time there, and I sat went to an all-you-can-eat sushi restaurant, and I saw this guy in like a Fox Racing snowmobile coat, just using chopsticks beautifully. And I'm like, that's fucking progress. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Like I used to straight up think, I'm like, chopsticks were something they used for lice checks. Like you never used them to eat food.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think we come from the same, like we're cut from the same cloth. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So there's a couple things I want to touch on in what you just brought up. But how country are we talking? Like, did you have neighbors, or like, was it a farm? Like, did you guys have, like, what are we talking here? Like, are you on an acreage, or did you?
So basically I'm not on a farm, but it's all farmland around me. So all my friends grew up on farms. There's a couple small towns in my area. So if you go like, not far from my parents' place down the street, there's like a little subdivision, but it's in a town of literally 300 people, right? Yeah. So when I live outside of the town sign, I don't even live in a town. I live in a county. I lived in Gray County. And so I went to a school that was pretty big because kids went from an hour and a half in every direction to that school, right? So my high school is like 1,200 kids or something, but my town was so small, and it's basically like you drive, it's nothing, patch of houses, nothing. And then you get into that weird part where it's the kilometer long driveways the fucking weirdos just burning garbage back there. And like, it's fucking super country, horse and buggy everywhere because the Mennonites came and they came fucking hard, dude. Like I drove by my school a couple of years ago when I was going home to my parents for the holidays, and I drove by. The public school is in at the moment, is recess. And when I drove by the back, you could see half of the school now. Half was Mennonites. It's like half Mennonites, half kids. And bro, it was segregated like you would imagine the communities being segregated 60 years ago. Like the Mennonites were here, the other kids were here, and you better believe they clash sometimes. And the Mennonite kids come out strong too, eh? So it's like, I think they're just beating the shit out of kids at the school, which I think is so fucking funny.
So explain for me, because there is a Mennonite community in Alberta, but I didn't have close proximity to it. And in my head, when you say Mennonite, I think of like Amish. Is it like that?
Yeah. Yes, it's still very much so. Suspenders, like the coveralls, the hats. They look exactly what you're thinking. The girls have the dresses down to their ankles. The guys have like it's kind of like an undershirt with the strap. It hasn't changed. They look the same. They've looked the same for 100 years, but these fucking guys, they've greased their way into business. They have so much money. They make so much money out there off of their farming and stuff like that. So they buy up. A thing that they do that's positive is they buy up all these shitty properties out in the country, these beaten down, run down fucking houses, and they just rebuild them, right? And they're beautiful. But the community to me is a bit, first of all, it's religion. So I'm already looking at it's an organized religion that's super archaic and stuck in a fucking time. So I'm already like weary of it. Women don't have rights. Kids can't go to school past grade 8. So I don't like the Mennonite community in the sense that I find it so fucking old fashioned that these kids, you go to school with these kids now, and in grade 8, you see these kids fucking heartbreaking because you're talking about shit you get to do and they never get to fucking do it. Right. And that's probably why they're beating everyone up. But it's like, I always found the community, I'm torn on it. And dude, it's one of those weird things where like, cops don't get called to a Mennonite's house. Like they'll never, ever, there's no instant. They're like away from society, but bad shit's happened. Like, shit happens. Their bloodlines are too close. There's a lot of, and like, that's an actual problem. I'm not being an asshole right now. They have a problem with their bloodlines too close. So a lot of the kids are coming out with issues and problems. And so I just wonder what's going on in those, they're so segregated and so to themselves that I don't know what the fuck is happening over there. And you only get to know them so much, even if you live by them, because you don't hang out with them, right? Like you will buy stuff from, they have garden centers and farming, we'll buy stuff from them, but you don't get to hang out with them because they don't get to have a life outside of their community. So it's astonishing to me that these kids go to school until grade 8. Yeah. And then they leave. So and they're wearing the Mennonite clothes, and you guys are just wearing like whatever you're gonna wear. Yeah, exactly. And, like Randy River, and they're wearing fucking. I think it's wow. Yeah, dude. I got like my big Snake Eyes pants on, fucking from Randy River, and this guy comes and he's got the straps. But you know what? It's like I don't know why they go to school. I guess because up until grade 8 you learn basic shit, like don't put your tongue on that, right? Don't like math and yeah, they don't know how to speak and whatnot, but they also speak Dutch, right? They don't even speak English to each other, so they speak like kind of a broken English to us and Dutch there. It's still like an old Germanic community, right? So yeah, it's fucking interesting, dude. But it's weird because these kids do have to go to school with kids who like, if you're a female Mennonite, when you fucking hit grade 8, you cook, you clean, you're living 150 years ago. Your life is that of somebody who lived 150 years ago. Your job is to have fucking kids. Your job is to take care of the house. The guys are just supposed to farm, just work. There's no life outside of that. When the power goes out there, their fucking houses are lit up like Christmas trees, man, because they got generators and laptops. Like they got all these loopholes to run their businesses. That was the other.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question is, so they don't shun, they participate in the economy. So they must have so they're not like the Amish where they shun electricity and technology. They've embraced, so they've just kept the women in the kitchen and then now they get laptops and money.
Dude, exactly. They fucking figured out a way that they could make their money, but still keep their fucking women quiet. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so bad. Like, dude, I'm not kidding you. On a Sunday, they march, like there's like armies of them that go to church, and in there now and again you'll just see a guy on a laptop and it's a horse and buggy and you're like, what the fuck is happening here, man? How do you choose that and then not that, like If you obviously they have the power to bend the rules. So I don't know, maybe let a girl go to college.
I get it because they're saying I need this laptop to conduct our business. I don't need the horse and buggy is still the horse and buggy or whatever.
Exactly. They've made it so that they can make a living and stuff, which makes perfect sense. But I think other parts of it need to catch up. There's no place for, I mean, what am I talking about right now? I've been in a fucking hole for a year, but I'm like, there's no place for a fucking organized religion where you have to dress a certain way and be a certain way and talk a certain way and don't have dreams and hopes and everything. So,
yeah, the community aspect. Yeah,
man. I mean, how do you know, if your kid's not allowed to be a kid, then don't send them to school with other kids to begin with. Don't give them a taste of what they could have. And if you leave, you're banished. Like you're done. If you decide you don't want to be a Mennonite, you do not get to ever talk to your family again. You have no support, no love, nothing. It's a complete shun from society. So they have the choice to leave.
That's why they do it at grade 8, though. How many people are ready to just fuck off at grade 8?
Good point, actually. It means that their experience out in the world is while they're still 12. You know, they're not letting them go to college when they're fucking 18, because that's when a guy's going to hop in a cab one day and just not fucking come back, right?
Yeah.
So.
Crazy. So I didn't know. That's interesting. Okay, so that gives a little bit of context to like of that countryness then too, just growing up alongside that. And I think I like that point that you said about how you and I both do comedy the same, where it's like, we're not here to make you think, we're just here to make you laugh. And I feel like that's selling both you and I short, but I do feel like our comedy is the same, but in that you are the dark side to my light side of that.
Also, I wasn't trying to reduce your comedy. It'd be like, hey, Drew, you're like me, man. You're fucking stupid, bro.
Listen,
you're dumb.
No, but it is no, but I understand what you're talking about, because there is this. It's the difference between like conscious rap and then just like rap. You know what I mean? And just because there's conscious rap doesn't mean that Ludacris sucks. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, here's what I'll say though. What I love, and I'm not saying this because I'm talking to you right now. What I love about you, and what I've always loved about you since day one when I saw you, is you are fucking having fun on stage, bro. You love being on stage, and I can feel that when I watch you, and the crowd can feel it, and that's why you're so fucking good at getting the energy in a room going. Because when they believe you're having a good time, they start to have a good time. And I love seeing someone like you, who I think is genuinely funny and is fucking loving comedy. I love that you love comedy, and it shows when you perform comedy. And I think that that's fucking dope.
Oh, that's nice. That's a nice compliment, man. That's fucking, I appreciate that, dude. People just say energy. They usually just say, oh, I liked your energy. And it is, and I think it does. I was always surprised when I met comedians who didn't have, when I first started, who didn't have a theater background. I was like, so you're just a fucking dude who was like selling computers, and then you're like, fuck it, I'm going to go on stage. Like, after being like, it was just astonishing to me, man, that there wasn't this like innate love of like performing. You know,
and then as you do comedy for a while, you figure out the ones that have the theater background, they're all doing fucking sketch. We don't hang out with them in the shows.
That's what I feel like. It's like, why am I not like, what did I waste all that time for, just because I spent so long in the trenches of stand up that it like changes you? I'm like Gollum coming out, you know.
What did you do? Did you do theater and stuff?
Oh yeah, I was an actor when I was like 8, and then all through high school I was in musicals and the captain of the improv team, and like I was that, like when Sam Burns makes those making fun of improv videos, like I was like, that's me. Like I was full on Zip Zap Zop King, like in 2006, bro. I was the king of Zip Zap Zop, you know.
So you pivoted that though into like it's probably is that background though that shows when you're doing comedy that you're big up there. You're a performer. And you're also 0 to 100 in the first 5 seconds, right? Like I sometimes go up there, it takes me a second to warm up. You're just up there, you're like, your dick ever bleed? And then we're fucking in. You do better jokes, but
I've had honestly, I've had a problem with that in my career though, is because if you have this 6th or 7th gear that you can turn it up to, like, you know, like I call it like the Farley zone. Like if you can really get into the Farley zone, like if you hit them with that, then you have nowhere to go now, right? Like you can't, it's like full dick. You got to go like 3/4 dick and then the full dick, right? Like you gotta,
but once you're doing it, once you're fucking, you got to keep fucking for a long time. And you're right, dude. When you get fired out of a cannon, you got to keep the momentum. Like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to stay up there. But like, I don't know, man. I think it's like you said, people say that's high energy for you. I think it's I see that as passion. Like I just think that I see the fun, man. You can tell, dude, when you do stand up, you get to know the people that are just going through the motions, and you get to know the people that love it and the people that need it. And you know, as you in your first couple of years, you're just hanging out with everybody, and you're just happy to be a part of the community. And then as you get older, you really start to figure out who you like and who you believe, right? Because a lot of fucking, you know, like any industry, I'm not saying comedy's worse than anything else, but we're in entertainment. A lot of snakes. There's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of fucking people playing the game. And I don't believe at the core that they're really fucking artists, that they're really truly stand-ups. And then so when you know them, you tend to gravitate towards those types of people when you feel that they're real.
Yes, exactly. It always seems like the like-minded individuals kind of like find each other. Like the fucking the crew that you find is like, I don't know, we all hang out with each other. You know what I mean? Like, that's why we're talking, because you and I both understand, but like, I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but there's certain people that I would never even dream of wanting to interview. Cause it's like, and they may be at a particular status too. And it's just like, nah, I ain't trying to fuck with you, bro. Like, that,
yeah, dude.
Like that
it
ain't
comes
my
down to the car ride, right?
Yeah.
Who's fun in the car? Who's
Yeah.
fun in the car, man? Who can you just lay it all out? Cause the car, listen, man, when I'm on my way to a gig, in the car is when I get out all the shit that you would be crucified for saying in public. You know what I mean? Like, that's when I like joking with somebody who there's literally no fucking boundaries. And then when you get to the gig, all right, now you got to be a pro. You got to figure it out. But in the car, man, I want to know who you hate.
Yeah.
I want to talk about it.
Bro, because it's windows up and it's like, we're fucking, like, there's no snakes. Like, we're going now, you know?
Yeah.
Like, let's
but
go. Let's push it out.
Like, this might be my own fucking being crazy, but now I started to think about it. Like, coming back to stand up, I'm like, you got to be careful now who you talk to about shit. Like, who do you, because, you know, it's kind of a sensitive time in that you're sitting in a car and you might assume guy back left here, one of the openers is cool with all this. And they can fucking record you for like while you're going off. Like, you have to be like sure that you're talking to like-minded people. And I'm not talking about being awful and I'm like, oh, I want to be racist and sexist. I'm just talking about fucking letting it all hang out and just being funny, because you should be able to be funny without borders when you're hanging out with comedians. That I think that's fucking so key, dude, to be able to just fucking be funny when you're hanging out with comics.
Yeah. So. And then in terms of like who you're going to hang, like when you pick of a road person to go with, like on the road, like I'm going to pick the guy that I want to hang out with in the car, even if he's not as funny on stage. It's like, fuck it, man. This guy's just a good hang, dude. Like, I just like to hang out with this guy. And yeah, he's kind of shitty on stage, but like, whatever, man. Like, this guy's a fucking funny, like, you know.
Win-win for you. You put him on stage, then you go up, crush the show, and then you have fun on the way home. It's no problem. But the thing too is, like, what's interesting about our industry is that there's so many people that are not naturally funny, but they're very fucking hard workers. And I think almost the naturally funny people have to combat it more because they're inherently lazier, I find.
Yes.
And if you can combine talent and actually being funny and work ethic, I truly believe you'll get yours. It's going to fucking come, man. Work your ass off. It comes at different times. You know, some people can pop at 25, some people pop at 45. But like, if you're funny and you work hard, you are going to get yours, man. But if you are funny and you're lazy, those fucking hard workers will pass you. And you see what happens, man. They blow up too quick. They're getting TV spots 2 years in, and that's their 5 minutes that they just did. And you see them run out of gas quick. And what happens when you get fast-tracked? You're doing 5-minute spots, you're doing gala spots, you're doing sevens or whatever. And then somebody sees you on a gala, boom, come do 45 minutes 5 times this weekend at my club. And they fucking die. They run out of gas 15 minutes in, but they outworked people to get to that point quickly, but then they run out of gas. So it's always fucking important when you actually have some funny in you to keep your foot on the gas too, because, you know, there's someone's always trying to climb that ladder.
Yeah. And, I think the point about, how can I say this? The
Patreon.
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead.
The funnier, it's almost the funnier because it's so easy to the people that are funny. Like, it's literally so easy to them that it is you have this natural complacency, because the person that has to work hard to something, a joke or a fact about yourself or anything that might be evident to us might take someone 6 months to get to that point.
Yeah.
And if you're just making that connection like that, well then, you know, you're just gonna again like be lazy. But if you double that with the fucking that person's work effort, then you're fucking just gone, you know, like you're just
100%.
Yeah, you know.
Well, like we've all been, I think, through like stages where you've spent like a few months, you're hitting mics every fucking night, but then you take a step back, you're like, I haven't developed a fucking thing. I've been having fun. I've been partying on stage. Yeah. It's been a good time. I've been killing whatever, but like, this is chaos, right? And then when you sit and you really fucking write, every time I sit, dude, and I get into a good writing session, I remind myself like, oh, it gets better when you do this part, when you actually sit and fucking hash it out and like focus on the words and the language, because you know, when sometimes you have a joke and it's going well, so you just keep rolling with it and you keep hitting it, it's doing well every night. But then you take that joke and you dissect it and break it apart and look at it again, and you've been missing this whole fat fucking punchline in the middle and this whole pop right here. And it's like, if you take that time with it, you find things, man. There's intricacies in comedy that you miss when you're just relying on your natural ability to be funny on the spot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And that's funny, because that is something that I've known my whole life and that I still don't do, bro. There is not a single written version of a single one of my jokes anywhere.
Right.
There's a word, it says fucking beavers, and then there's a 2-minute bit attached to it. And then so here's where my vanity has worked in my favor, is that you remember those little talk boys? I don't know if you remember, it was a toy when you were a kid, and you could record it for like 10 seconds and it would play back, and you could
Yak Back?
effects on. Yak Back. Fucking Yak Back.
Yes,
bro. I had a Yak Back, and that was my favorite fucking thing in the entire world. My dad said, he's like, I could just lock you in the closet with that fucking thing and you would be
same, dude. I love the Yak Back.
The Yak Back. So all my life I recorded every set, and then I would just listen back to my set and then like be like, oh, here's that, and then kind of just like make that mental note. But yeah, like I feel like I would benefit more from like actually writing, because I've never written before, ever. Once.
It's amazing too, like recording yourself. I literally only started recording myself like a year or two ago, because
really? That's crazy.
Dude, first of all, I do not, and I don't say it, like I know a lot of people do it to be like, you know, be to appear humble or like whatever. I fucking don't enjoy listening to myself. I truly find it fucking cringe. I don't like watching myself. I love it. I don't have that, dude. Like, so for me, it's fucking hard. And I am my own worst enemy and my biggest critic and my harshest critic. And like, no matter what I do right, in my mind, it's not fucking good. So it took me a long time to get to that point. But I would say, I would encourage any young comic to get there faster than I did, because it's so important to listen to your own stuff. And it's so important because you pick up things you're doing, like mannerisms. If you say like on stage, you might not pick that up till you listen to yourself like, holy fuck, I said like 35 fucking times in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But like, have you ever transcribed your comedy for something? Like, have you ever had to do
so for Halifax? Yeah. I had to do it for Halifax, and it's
that's like a motherfucker when you first do it. Eh? Like, dude, you get 2 paragraphs in, you're like, I don't have punchlines. I don't have fucking jokes. This is all my cadence. Like, it's all like, there's nothing here, dude. It's a nightmare writing your jokes out. But when you write them out word for word, did you ever like notice shit where you're like, oh, that's where that should go, or I should say something there, man. Writing is invaluable, but it's hard to get yourself to do sometimes.
Yeah, totally. So you don't jerk off in front of the mirror then either, I guess, eh?
Oh, I do. I just put tape over my mouth.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get to some of these questions here.
Sure.
From the Discord people.
Mm-hmm. Discord. Are you a gamer, Drew?
No, they just started it for me.
Oh, okay.
I have a Switch. I play like Zelda and stuff, and like Super Mario's, like Smash Brothers. Okay, here's a dumb question. Gary, have you ever considered dyeing your mustache bleach blonde?
I've thought about it. Because here's the thing. I used to have bleach blonde hair. I've had bleach blonde hair before. When I was younger.
Eminem, or why was it?
But not Eminem though. Like I more like,
was it full?
Would have been more like Blink-182. Like I would have been like, you know, like Omar Kopis dyed his fucking hair. I want to dye my hair. So I went into grade 9 with blonde hair. I dyed my in like bleach fucking blonde, but I was like a snowboarder and a skater and stuff. So like my hair was always very long and shaggy. And so by the end, dude, I'll try to show you just a picture on here quick. Long story short, would I fucking do it if I could do that? Like, and know that I could just get away with doing it, not fucking anything up, and then just getting my mustache back? I would, in a heartbeat, have a blonde mustache for a moment because it's so much fucking weirder for some reason.
I know, it's like Hulk Hogan. That's another reason why we could skateboarding, bro. I also
you grew, yeah, that's right. Did you snowboard at all too?
I was a skier my whole life.
A skier, yeah. All right,
but. Okay, here's another one. Yeah, pull that picture up. I'm going to ask you another question.
Yeah, keep going.
What do we got? What's the weirdest thing a person has said to you after a show?
The weirdest thing a person has said to me after... Oh, okay, I did a set way back when I was like new down in Atlanta because I went on like a road trip with a couple comic friends. And I did a show down there and I talked about... I had some suicide joke. I was new comic. I'd say fucking anything, man. So I had this suicide joke, and this lady comes up to me in that like Georgian accent. She goes, "Oh, you look just like my." She's like, "You remind me of my brother. You look just like him." I'm like, "Oh my god, what happened to your brother?" He goes, "Oh, he blew his face off." And I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." And she goes, "No, he's alive. He was just farting around with the sand blaster." I'm like, "What?" So she told me the story about how he accidentally blew his face off with a sand blaster. But it's like my voice reminded her of her brother who has no face anymore. He is a faceless guy. So I look like her brother
his
did,
face
but
off.
he's alive. Yeah, he blasted his face off. That was touching.
If he didn't sand his lips off, he sounds just like you. That's great.
Yeah.
Here's some rapid fire food questions.
Let's do it.
Banana cream or Boston cream?
Boston cream.
Taco or burrito?
Taco.
Yeah. Geraldo or Patrice?
Patrice. In what, on a roast?
That's a hard one, though.
On a roast, Geraldo. On a roast,
I don't know. It just says Geraldo. Yeah, on a roast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Patrice documentary yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
Killing is easy? Yeah, me neither. I want to watch it.
Oh, you haven't seen it? That's actually a reminder.
No, I haven't seen it. Yeah.
I want to see it yet.
Yeah. Okay, there's more questions here. Jesus Christ or Satan?
And if you asked me 12 months ago, Jesus Christ. I'm gonna go Satan, bro. Gotta go Satan.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go with Satan too. Oh, here's one. You're an MMA guy. GSP or Silva?
GSP.
Yeah, GSP. But Silva in his prime, though. Fuck, man. Was that guy ever entertaining to watch, man? Like, wow.
Dude, what more entertaining fighter definitely than GSP to watch, especially down the line. But GSP, I think I got that bias. I got that like Canadian boy bias, and he was just such a beautiful fucking fighter. But Silva for excitement, I would probably go with Silva.
Yeah, Silva for excitement. Okay, here's a couple more. Working hard or hardly working?
Working hard, bud. Fucking working. Are you kidding me? I haven't worked. I don't work anymore.
I know. I don't do fucking. I mean, I'm in school now, but other than that, I fucking.
What are you in school for?
I'm taking radio at Humber.
Fuck yeah. I took television broadcasting at Mohawk College.
At Humber? Oh, at Mohawk?
At Mohawk. At Mohawk in Hamilton.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nitish took a television at Seneca.
Oh, did he? Well, so.
And Jamie. Jamie.
Well, we did it because we took those and then ended up. It's funny. It's just funny to go to anytime you go to college for something and then you pivot into something else. You're like, well, it was fucking what, $6,000? It's not like I don't have student debt. Whatever. Yeah.
I know. It's pretty cheap. Humber is mad cheap, bro. This is fucking 2-year diploma. Diploma.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, man. It's
easy. TSN or Sportsnet?
Sportsnet. I used to work for Sportsnet.
Oh, yeah?
Here.
What'd you do there?
Sorry, I just wanted to show you the...
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see the blonde. Yeah, so now I want to see the blonde.
I don't know
now. Put it up to the camera.
If you're going to be able to... Can you see that?
It kind of.
That's the shag?
Oh, yeah, there it is. Zoom it in like that. Yeah. That's way better. Bro, we
Yeah,
totally would have. We would have been best friends. Bro, we would have been best friends for
Well,
sure.
you play music too, right? Like I played drums
Yeah.
too, so I was like a big
Oh
band
yeah.
guy. And
Yeah, we would have played. I probably would have played guitar. We would have played in the same band and everything for sure.
in a screamo band. I don't know, buddy. I was in a band called Fall of Eden.
Oh no. Okay, I wouldn't have fucked with you guys. I was not into screamo, bro. I fucking hated the screamo kids because they were skinny. That's why I hated them, because I was fat and they were skinny. That's truly why I hated them.
Right. See, man, I always thought every good band back when I'm a punk fan first. Like that's kind of what my shit. And I thought every punk band needed one fat dude, man, usually on bass.
Well, yeah, you gotta, you know.
Gotta have that fat fucking, he parties, eh?
Yeah.
You know, he's nicknamed Kitchen or something, and he fucking always, like, after the shows, he's the guy that just drinks 24 beers. He's fucking nuts. He'll smoke anything, drink anything, can barely play, but fucking steals the stage when he's up there. Fuck yeah, I need the fat guy, bro.
His name is Kitchen.
Yeah, Kitchen.
Oh, man. Okay, that's fucking incredible. I don't think we're gonna go out on any better question than that, bro. That's fucking hilarious, man. Okay, well, yo, fucking A, thank you, man. That was so fun, dude.
Buddy, thank you.
Yeah.
When do you think we'll be performing together again?
I don't know, dude. Honestly, fucking, I got nothing coming up. How about you?
I got some things slowly starting to come up, but like I haven't done shit.
Have you done any Zoom shows?
No, man.
I
stayed away. I have worked, like I've been working on some other stuff, and like I just kind of like I was like, I'm not gonna bother with that right now. If I get like if I have an offer to do something or whatever, like I'll do it, but I haven't gone out seeking it. Really, I've been kind of trying to fill my void by writing and doing and that kind of shit. So yeah, man. All right, bro.
Yeah, buddy. Okay. Well, I'll let you know when this is up, and we'll fucking.
Okay, bro. God bless, and let's chat soon.
Okay. Good talking to you, buddy. Okay. Bye.